All right, so we're back here once again on a special edition of Couch Coach Live, getting you ready for Game 2 of the NBA Finals between the Miami Heat and the Nuggets. Heat Nuggets, and you think to yourself, those are two great words in the world of sports, but it's two great words in life in general. Heat Nuggets. So we're back at it again once again here on a Sunday evening here as we get ready for Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Got a special guest in the building. I got my guy Cool from the Play Callers. What's going on, Cool?
What up? What up?
Not much, man. Obviously, you seen it often. He reps the Eagles, and also he reps the Denver Nuggets. So it was only right to have Cool on the show to talk about his beloved Denver Nuggets. Yeah. So what we're gonna do, we before we get started, we'll and obviously Cool does various things. So we get his thoughts on. I know he covers the Atlanta Dream. He covers, of course, you all know he covered the Philadelphia Eagles. So so then we'll get his thoughts on that and some other stuff, and then also we'll preview Game 2. We'll backtrack to recap Game 1 of the NBA Finals, and then some keys for both teams to win, and then how we think the game is gonna play out, aka the script is giving our predictions. So we'll be right back. We're gonna kick that intro, and we'll be right back here on Couch Coach Live. Yes, and we like that. And we're back here on Couch Coach Live. Once again, we got our guests in the building. Got Cool McCain from the Play Callers and also Eagles Elite. So we'll talk with him tonight, preview this Game 2. So Cool, honestly, before we get started with all the NBA finals talk and all what have you, obviously I want to talk about the Atlanta Dream. Obviously, the Atlanta Dream now are 2-3 on the year. I know they posted the other day, they had a valiant fight against the Las Vegas Aces, which are like blowing teams out, and it's a pretty much one of those where the Aces are just dominating the competition. So what are your thoughts early on for this Atlanta Dream team?
I like what I'm seeing so far, Couch Coach. I mean, not all wins, right? Not 5-0, but hey, you got to build. But I like what we have. I thought we had a solid team last year with the Dream. The biggest thing was injuries, right? So now we went out and got a little bit more depth so that, if we do have some injuries, we have some pieces that can step in. Like Alicia Gray, great pickup, for the team, right? Haley Jones, you've heard that name before. Letitia Amiri, another name I know you've heard before. So some great additions via draft as well as brought over some pieces, and obviously that means some pieces that we had last year, had to be moved, but that's kind of how it goes. But I think this is a team that will make the playoffs this year and can win at least a game, maybe a series, depending on seeding, who they're playing, different things of that nature. But this is a team on the rise. We were close last year. I think this is the year they bust through.
For sure. And yeah, and like you said, and it is early on in the season, so definitely looking forward to seeing what the Dream is doing. And then it's kind of cool now how, no pun intended, but in the sense where, there's a lot of WNBA coverage across other channels. Like I didn't even know it was a Sparks game on CBS not last night, but Friday night. There's a lot, and then it's got games on Amazon Prime as well. So I'm definitely liking how, you just catch a game, in the middle of the week, and catch it on the weekend. So, it's definitely
ESPN's been covering them too. I've seen
Yeah,
some games
true.
on ESPN, ESPN two. So I just love the fact that the coverage is out there. Doesn't matter who's out there. It just matters that the league's getting the eyes because as leagues get the eyes, man, it makes each individual team better.
Yep, absolutely. And hey, it's the thing. That's the thing about the sport, man. Visibility is key. So, you know,
Absolutely.
for sure. So, and obviously, we know you run a fine establishment at Eagles Elite. So we know Cool. We know that's I think one of the key things we know about Cool is his beloved Philadelphia Eagles. If you say one thing that you don't know about Cool, he wears his Eagles his Eagles emotions on his sleeve and all over. So
Yes, sir.
obviously, and we actually talked, before the Super Bowl, he was part of our Super Week coverage in February. So just your thoughts coming in now, because a lot of teams, when you think, especially, with Philadelphia, with the unfortunate loss, a lot of people look at, the team that lost Super Bowl as, in essence, like, will it be a Super Bowl hangover? And just your thoughts on just this upcoming season, because now we're almost at a point where you're ready to hit that so-called the dead period where we hope no knucklehead activity happens in the next 6 weeks before training camp starts. So just your overall thoughts on the Eagles coming into this 2023 season.
Watch out. This is not the average team that lost in the Super Bowl. And what I mean when I say that is there's still a lot of hunger. We don't feel like we accomplished anything as an organization, as a fan base, because we did not win. So make no mistake, there is no, oh, well, we got to the Super Bowl, even though we didn't win. No, we lost when it mattered the most. The biggest game of the year, we lost, right? And I think a big part of that was poor coaching by our coordinators, both of whom we have set free. They have head coaching jobs. Um, Clearly, those teams either hired them before the Super Bowl or did not pay attention to their lack of preparation for their side of the ball in the Super Bowl, especially the defensive coordinator. But hey, we've got Sean Desai as the defensive coordinator. We made a move from our own roster, promoted for OC, so we should have a lot of consistency on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, hopefully the new OC will make some changes. As far as the roster goes, man, a lot of turnover on the defensive side of the ball, but honestly, that's to be expected in these situations, right? You win a Super Bowl. You had a lot of guys that came in that were on 1 year contracts. Some of those guys we were able to keep. One guy in particular, Chauncey Gardner Johnson, I really wanted us to keep. We did not keep because contract was offered. He was like, "No, I'm not taking that." He went out into the open market. We let him know, like, look, if you go in the open market, we're moving in another direction. There's not going to be a second offer. I felt like he bet on himself, which I mean, I don't fault him for doing. Um, we switched bases, went and grabbed James Bradbury, Darius Slay. So brought back what I feel like was the best 1-2 cornerback tandem in the league last year. Two top 10 cornerbacks. And they're back together in that backfield. Now, obviously, the safety position, there's going to be two new starters there. So far, it looks like there's going to be Terrell Edmonds and Reed Blankenship. Sidney Brown, a third-round pick, will have an opportunity to at least back up, maybe take some playing time, maybe take one of those positions. Um, you look at linebacker, we're going to have new faces there as well. We don't have anyone that's starting at either of the wide or middle linebacker. Obviously, our I guess you could definitely call him a linebacker, but he clearly doesn't play the position. Hassan Reddick, he'll be there, but N'Kobe Dean will be taking over one spot, and then Nicholas Morrow, who was an undrafted free agent from the Chicago Bears, will be unrestricted. Excuse me, I said undrafted, unrestricted free agent from the Bears. He'll be manning the other position, and then of course Jalen Carter, our big time pickup. He'll be getting some playing time. Nolan Smith will be learning under Hassan Reddick, right? So that's exciting. Um, and it's just so many positions, man. So many opportunities for a lot of new guys to step up. Zach McPherson, we drafted a guy at cornerback who's going to be a big part of our future, Keely Ringo. So just a lot of different things going on with the team, but we still have QB1, and we still have the best, in my opinion, 1-2 punch at wide receiver in the league. And I think we're going to have an upgrade sleeper at the slot wide receiver. That's going to be Olamide Zacchaeus from the Atlanta Falcons. Not a guy you would play as like your one or two, but in that third position, I think he's going to be a big key for us as well. Obviously, we still got the rest of the talent that we had last year, Sands running back. But if you could take a Miles Sanders, who I think is a really good back, I won't say great, and that's not a disrespectful thing. I said that when he was on the team as well. But you could add DeAndre Swift and Kenneth and Rashad Penny to a room that already had Kenneth Gainwell, Boston Scott, Trey Sermon. I'm not upset at all. So I feel like we're poised to, make some things happen. But the biggest thing is we got to go out and play these games. We got to be hungry. I like the new coordinators because I think having those fresh ideas, those fresh people, you don't have as much time to focus on what happened in the past, right? You learn your lessons from it, but being NFC champions is cute. Being NFC East champions is great, and that's a wonderful T-shirt. But the only thing we really want is another ring. So hopefully we can make that happen this upcoming season.
Well, hey, it could potentially happen for you guys, but hey, you got a gauntlet to face in that NFC East. So
do you, sir. And we got a gauntlet to face outside too. I know.
Oh yeah. And we're gonna light your boy Gannon up on September the 10th. Just pray for him because we gonna light him up. We're gonna light him up on week 1. It's a
treat
wrap.
him like you need to treat him. How about that?
We'll do.
No, he ain't got no love. He ain't got no love in Philly. Trust me.
As young folks say less. So, with that being said, so yeah, for sure. So I'll bring Maui in. Get him in this stream here. What's going on, man?
Maui, what up, bro?
What's up, man? Man, y'all a little arrogant over there, ain't you? I mean, damn. It was just 3 years ago. You sound like him a couple years ago when they won the division. He sat back with a cigar and some tea and had his hat cocked to the side and crossed his legs and was like, you guys really going to do something with it? You know what I mean?
Listen, man, I don't have no NFC championship gear. I don't have no NFC East championship gear. You won't ever hear me bring that mess up again because I don't care about that.
Right.
Those are cute.
But
I don't care about it.
Speak for yourself. I added an unboxing video. I do not care. A win is a win. Cool,
Hey,
you know how it is with the NFC East. Yeah, sure.
I'm not saying that it's not value for winning. I'm just saying like
too close last year, right? It was too close.
Well, even that, and we lost. You know what I'm saying? Like getting to the Super Bowl is great, but if you don't win, nobody remembers the loser from 5 years ago.
And you felt like you think everything was unraveling for y'all to win?
No, I think that we were playing another equally very good team. They also had 3 other guys on their team that had on black and white shirts. So we had to find a way to beat both of the groups. And because we fell off and we allowed Kansas City to get back into the game, we put ourselves in a position where outside factors could influence the game, and that's what happened.
I'm just mad at y'all because y'all let Juju win. Juju, oh my God. Juju got a Super Bowl. Oh my God, that hurts so much.
Well, you won't be getting another one.
That does hurt.
Getting another one in New England. It's a wrap. I don't think he's gonna be getting his TikTok rings. It's a wrap. It's a wrap in New England.
Well, he didn't got his ring now. Juju says
so he good.
Guys, he just won his money now.
All right.
Exactly. So,
my bad. Go ahead.
So so in game 1, me and Mal, we talked about some players that we, as far as that we're rooting for, as far as on individual teams. So cool. Obviously, with you repping the Nuggets, and then I know you maybe you got any particular guys on the Nugget squad or any particular guys on the Heat squad that you like personally rooting for.
So I like Caleb Martin. He's a guy that he played here for the Hornets. I don't feel like they developed him. I feel like he got to Miami, got in a place where he could be developed, and he's playing well. I also am a big Jimmy Butler fan, right? Because, hey, this guy is playoffs. Like the regular season, he all right. He do enough. But I like the mentality. It's similar to my mentality with my Eagles, right? They tried to hand him the Eastern Conference Finals trophy. He was like, "No, I don't want that. I'll hold the next one." You know what I'm saying? He got that mind state like, if you don't win it all, you haven't really won. It's a cute story. It's great that you were the first playing team to make it to the NBA Finals. Not the first AC because it's happened before, but this is the first team that was in the play-in that has made it to the NBA Finals. So that's cool. That's great. But if you don't win, it's still just a cute story. You win a championship, it's a wonderful story. Don't just another cute thing to put a feather in your hat, but it doesn't get you anything. Everybody on Denver I love, but I really like Bruce Brown.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because he comes in, he brings the athleticism, he brings the aggression. He's versatile. You can bring him in. He can play the 3, he can play the 2, he can play the 1, he can play the 4. Quick story about him. After the first round of free agency, he wasn't signed. So our coach, Mike Malone, reached out to him. He said, "Coach, the reason I ain't signed is people don't know how to use me." So Mike Malone was like, "Well, we know how to use you. You want to come over here?" He was like, "Hey, let's make it happen." Got the contract situation worked out, and we got him over here with us, and he's doing everything that I thought he could be doing if he was given the opportunity when he was in Brooklyn. Right. But I think he did learn a lot in Brooklyn because you had KD there. You had some guys that can help you develop your game. I think he's able to bring that over to help us. Of course, I ain't even going to wait to talk about the robbed and true MVP, Nikola Jokic. You know what I'm saying? Anybody who feels like Joel Embiid should be the MVP, hey, you feel how you want to feel. Joel Embiid has never averaged a triple-double in a season. Period. How you average a triple-double, you're not the MVP.
Right.
Unless some guy goes out there and scores 50 points a game and gets 25 rebounds and 10 and like 8 blocks. You know what I'm saying? And somebody do something like that, then we got a leg to stand on. But the difference between Embiid and Jokic was Embiid whined and cried since the end of last season. They went and got him the second best crier in the league in James Harden to coach him on the crying and be a second cry voice. And then you had Doc Rivers over there talking about, "Oh, if Embiid's not the MVP now, I don't know what else he can do." Sounding like he wanted to be Darth Vader. But at the end of the day, you have your regular season award. I hope you enjoy it, because unless you change your mind state, Joel Embiid, that will be the only award you get. You will never host the Larry O'Brien Trophy if you don't learn how to play team basketball. And if I was in that Sixers locker room and I could leave, I would not come back and play with the dude who threw me under the bus after he no-showed a closeout game. You know what I'm saying? Just my thoughts on that. I know it's a little bit off topic, but had to get it out.
I mean, they got a nurse, so I mean, hey,
right?
They got a nurse potentially, but for Doc, all he needs is some lemon tea and some lemon cough drops. Do that every day, he'd be straight. He'd be back to his TNT voice in no time.
Disrespectful.
I mean,
so disrespectful.
But none of what we've said is incorrect information.
Right.
Hey, I'm just
tips. It may be a little disrespectful, but it is true. It is all factual.
Right.
But Jamal Murray, of course, plays big in moments. He's not necessarily a guy that takes over the whole game, but most guys aren't, right? That's why you have multiple stars on teams. Right. Aaron Gordon, what he brings on defense, and a crazy guy that I did not expect to be able to say this about, but I'm glad I can, is Michael Porter Jr. Killing it on the boards. I saw him actually taking the ball to the hole a little bit, so I'm loving that. Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, I love the championship pedigree from when he was with the Lakers in the bubble championship. So a lot of different pieces I'm excited about. I mean, I can sit here and name everybody on the Nuggets bench, even the guys don't even play, but y'all don't want to hear that. But literally everybody on the team I'm excited for. I just want to highlight a few of the guys that I think have been very instrumental in us getting to the point we're at now.
I'm still fascinated. Y'all only play AD. That's the thing that frightens me. I'm like, bro, they only play AD.
Right.
And crazy. You can go to the bench and look at, you got guys like, I mean, Christian Brown, he plays sometimes he doesn't. He's young, so he needs to develop a little bit. Still plays more defense than Bones Highland ever would. I said it.
I know. Actually, you know what? That question, I'm glad that you kind of led into that.
Sure.
my boy Bones will get a ring, right? If Denver wins, right? If they get 3 more wins, Bones qualify for a ring.
He will qualify. What people have to remember though is it's up to the team. I don't see why the team would not give him a ring, but I'm just saying it's up to the team. So if you played during the season and any amount of games, even if you play just one game for the team, or you traded to the team and you get released, whatever, you are eligible to get a ring if that team wins the championship that year, right? So I wouldn't mind if the team gave him a ring because he was there. He was pivotal for us for the 2 years that we were missing other pieces. So I wouldn't mind if we were to give him a ring, but at the end of the day, I'm glad you're not on the team because you don't bring it on the defensive side of the ball. And you're a streaky shooter. We already have that in Michael Porter Jr. We don't need another guy doing that that's less talented and wants to be a point guard. So, yeah.
So I got a question. Me and Coach was talking about this is the first time you guys have a great chance to win a championship, right? So from a marketing standpoint, we were saying most teams what they do is they go back and get old players from the team, from the past teams to come, and it kind of like helps with everybody remember all these great players and blah blah blah. So I was wondering, we said a bunch of players, and even some that we all kind of forgot. What players would you like to come back that played for the Nuggets in the past?
So he was a game one, but Dan Issels won. Alex English, Kenyon Martin was there for a while. I'd love to see Carmelo come in for a game.
Right.
Think about guys like Ty Lawson. AI was a Denver Nugget.
Right.
Antonio McDyess. Tumbo was a Nugget. I mean, there's so many guys. And by this being the first time we've ever even made the NBA Finals, I would love to have as many guys, whether you were a really great player or just a role player, that were part of the organization. Yeah.
Like, and that's why I was getting, because once I did that, I started talking to a lot of people, because everybody's like, but I'm like, man, you know how many great Nuggets it really was, like with some great Nuggets, man. Word.
Now, there's a lot more than that too, but this is the tip of the iceberg. But I did see y'all show, and y'all had a lot, and I was like, oh yeah.
You forget because you think, like you're saying, because everybody's in so many different eras. Like you think to yourself, this way, because you can remember. I think, damn, that's right. They played together, and all kind of stuff. Yeah, it's for sure.
Didn't McDyess hurt his back or something like that? All right.
I would be remiss if I didn't say Nene Hilario. I gotta say Nene.
Yep.
Right. Gotta say Nene.
That would be very disrespectful to not say Nene.
For sure.
I'm gonna give a quick shout out to Michael Porter Jr. because it was him in the bubble that made them really push to where they're at right now. Because I felt like they were at a certain level and they was playing. It took somebody who had to say, "Hey, man, blah 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 blah." And I think he said, and I think they set him out one of those games too because he spoke his mind.
I also like that he has developed his game since then. I'll be honest with you, I'm a fan. I knew we weren't going to beat the Lakers when we played them in the bubble because we weren't ready. You have to be ready. Porter Jr. was a rookie. Some of the other guys hadn't quite developed yet, or we didn't have the right bench, right? So we had some good players, and we still have a lot of that core, but we weren't ready. Mike Malone wasn't ready. He got out-coached. We didn't handle LeBron and AD as a tandem well. We would stop one and let the other one go off.
Right.
Jokic wasn't quite there mentally. Guys could get him out of his game by fouling him and being like Dwight Howard was. So we weren't ready at that point. But that was a good learning experience. Right. And that's what I say about the Lakers. I think this group of Lakers, it was a good learning experience for the young guys. Now, half of them probably won't be there next year, but it was a great learning experience for them. Right. You talk about like Phoenix. It's a great learning experience for them to see, they don't need Chris Paul. They can save that money and go out and rebuild a bench that they gave away to get Kevin Durant, right? You need Chris Paul.
Right.
But you don't have a good coach now. So, we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, for sure. So, I guess, perfect segue. So, we're going to talk about now. So, Frank Vogel is now named the head coach, and this is official because I know when we were on air on Thursday, we were it was on the fence because we were like, okay, well, everybody was looking at potentially Kevin Young being there, so it's kind of one of those where we didn't know, but officially we know now that he will be the head coach of the Suns. Obviously, in his tenure with the Lakers and also with the Pacers, he did have seasons where they were the number one defense. Obviously, I think one of the key caveats in this is in this negotiations, Kevin Young, the assistant coach under Monty Williams at the time, he's still with the Suns. So a part of that, he's going to get a $2 million annual deal as the team's assistant, or in football jargon, the offensive coordinator position in a sense. So, cool. I'm going to go with you first. Cool. Your thoughts on Frank Vogel being named the Suns head coach?
So, Phoenix Suns, you mean to tell me you got rid of Monty Williams, a former coach of the year, to bring in a guy that's going to demand defense out of a whole bunch of guys who don't give a rat's what about defense?
Right.
And you think somehow that's going to make those guys want to play defense? That team. DeAndre Ayton does not want to be in Phoenix. You see it in his play. You see it in his demeanor. You see it in him on the bench. He is disinterested. He does not care. He tried to go to another team, and then y'all brought him back when he didn't want to be there. So as long as you have guys that don't even want to be on a team, and you're re-signing them instead of saying, well, hey, let's work out a trade, right? You want to go to Indiana? All right, let's work out a trade where we get some pieces back. But since you don't want to be here, bye. You bring this guy back. You saw last year, not this year, last year he didn't want to be there. Before you gave him a contract, he didn't care. He didn't play hard. So you thought giving him more money was going to make him play hard? Now you're bringing in a coach that's going to want all these guys to do something they haven't done in their careers, and that's play hard on defense, except for Kevin Durant. And he's done it in spurts. He hasn't done that consistently, but he has played hard on defense at times.
Right.
These other guys, Devin Booker does not care about defense unless it's maybe a blocker or steal there. But he ain't trying to man up on nobody and stop them from scoring. He's trying to get the ball and get down and score and pose or do something himself. All these guys, Bridges, these guys that were there, guys that are there, they never were pushed to play defense when they were on this Phoenix Suns team. So unless you're going to go through a deep rebuild, you're going to say, okay, hey, you don't want to be here. We're getting you out of here. Let's get somebody here who wants to play defense, right? Unless you're going to bring in guys on the bench that are 3-and-D guys that maybe can push for a starting position in some of these slots where you don't really have guys who play defense and you need to fix it. That's the only way this is going to work. You're basically looking at the roster, looking at the guy that you hired. And I'm not high on Frank Vogel at all. I don't think he's garbage, but I think there were better options out there. But you basically took a square peg and you circle hole and said, let's make it fit.
Yeah.
And then when it doesn't work, Frank Vogel's going to be out of a job in a couple of years. Not because anything he did wrong, because you didn't give him pieces, unless you're going to go out and get the pieces to allow him to coach the way he wants to coach, which is defense. These guys don't want to play defense.
Right.
True. Yeah. Mel, your thoughts?
They got to play defense. They may not want to, but they got to play defense. I mean, I'm just being honest with you.
Oh,
they got to play defense. The NBA's changing. The 3-pointers, like we're gonna talk about it later, but the 3-pointer, that being the first option, is about to be gone. Like Joker's a double. He's most likely about to win a championship. He's averaging a triple double, and they're not even a shot blocking team. But they, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot to that. So the game is changing. I like Frank Vogel because when there was the bubble, you got to see film of him teaching, and I'm looking at him talking to these guys that are superstars, legends, maybe even Hall of Famers, and it's telling them how to play team basketball. Like, he's only been under 500 4 times, twice in Orlando, once in Indiana, and then that last year with LA, and that threw me off. You know what I mean? So like, I'm sitting here like, man, even if it don't work, they're going to get something out of it. You know what I mean? I understand. I definitely think there was more people that should have done it. I like Frank Vogel. I like Frank Vogel because, like, I was I'm like, because from watching him, I was like, yo, if you the center, you got to step up. That's all you got to do is step up. Don't just hide down. There's just the small detail and stuff. And I think they kept the assistant, who I think most people wanted to take the job. He only got for $2 million. So I'm guessing that's cheap. I don't have a clue.
Actually,
but
actually, it's the highest paid assistant.
He's the highest. Okay.
In NBA.
Is he offensive? Is he offensive minded?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So that's a great look. because that's Jason Kidd
You
and
had to
him,
do
which
that,
was a great fit because that was the issue when Jason Kidd left. You just see the offense just looked like it was all over the place. You know what I mean? So I'm everything you say, cool. I'm with you, and I think Frank Vogel understand that. He like, hey, I could be the Van Gundys, or I could be me, and I could get paid like, he got that what was it 3 year, and everybody
yeah.
didn't want that 3 year, and now he got 5 year, 31 million. So he like, hey, I'm gonna be a company guy. I'm gonna do what y'all ask, and I'm gonna make the best out of the situation. You know what I mean? So I'm happy for him. I do think I don't know, man. This coaching situation has been weird. It's strange, man. Like because no offense, I was sitting here like when you really look at Monty Williams, you look at Frank Vogel, like actually all these coaches that's moved around, like what's really what's the difference? You know what I mean? Like maybe a championship here, or this person's this type of person, or this was a player's coach. Like a lot of that stuff is almost the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't understand. It's weird. Where y'all think Doc going? You think he retiring?
Doc is not retiring.
Yeah, the only place is Toronto. Everybody else, so
I think he'll take a year.
Year off.
I think he'll take a year. Yeah.
And then when it's time for him to because Toronto's the only thing that's open, and I don't think nobody's gonna really.
One more thing, I'm happy. One more thing, I think I'm happy what Monty Williams got. I'm happy Frank got a job too because I feel like they dogged him in LA. To me, you gave him an extension. I feel like they dogged him. Both LeBron and he just heard all that. What Russell Westbrook, you know what I mean? It was just crazy.
Yeah,
they did not put him in a situation to be successful. That's for sure. It was not.
Yeah, and like you said, I'm on the fence about the move. I mean, like you said, you replacing Monty Williams with a Frank Vogel, where I get it. Like I understand because obviously the new owner, he wants his guy, so I understand why the Monty Williams fire happened. But Frank Vogel, the thing, like you said, they got to have pieces to play within the system because what I think we have currently constructed, I don't think you have guys that are willing to play defense. Like as far as the Frank Vogel way. Right. So now I was just curious how this roster is going to be filled. Essentially, like you said, you can get rid of maybe Aiden, you can get rid of Chris Paul, and those two pieces there alone could definitely help you get some stuff in return. So curious how that's gonna work. Like I said, because I think Kevin Durant, he'll be fine. I think that's the beauty thing about it all, where with Kevin Durant, he'll just acquiesce. And that's kind of the beauty thing about him being a superstar like that. He can just acquiesce to whoever's coaching, and he's cool. So, with that's concerned, like I said, I'm very interested about this Kevin Young situation. I definitely think he's like the coach in waiting. So this is one of those things where I just know the future of the Suns team is probably going to be on Kevin Young because obviously he was the one that helped design the pick and roll offense that was under Monty Williams. So and they love the fact that he's this. They look at him as great when it comes to X's and O's and all that type of stuff. So he definitely comes into that, and obviously, I guess in the football term, he's a great offensive mind. We always deem guys a great offensive mind, but now more on the basketball side. But definitely curious how this roster is going to be constructed because obviously it's easy for me to say now where this ain't going to fit, it's not going to work. But we still got free agency, we still got the draft, we still got other stuff to where they can get this roster constructed, and this team might be something totally different by the time come October. So,
right,
yeah, very interested.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, if they make changes and give Frank guys that are going to buy into the way he plays or the way he wants to coach, and are going to play in that system, then yeah, this could work. But I'm just saying, based on what they have now,
correct.
Right? And I think he does work good with guys who are either at the very beginning of their career or guys who have made that transition to, I understand what I am on the team. I'm a little bit further along in my career. Either I'm a superstar, either I'm a role player. I think the problem he's going to have in Phoenix is going to be one Devin Booker and getting him to buy in. Now, if he can get Durant to buy in, maybe influence would help, but I think that's going to be the issue just based on what I've seen from Devin Booker throughout his NBA career.
For sure. Big time. So we'll keep it going now with game one of the NBA Finals. Get ready to square off in about 20 minutes or so. So obviously we're going to talk about a little bit of game one. Not really much to the details, but obviously the Nuggets won by a final score of 104-93. Jokic 24 and 14. Michael Porter Jr. 14. Jamal Murray 26. Aaron Gordon as well. Great game on their end. With the Heat, Bam led the way with 26 points. And Haywood Highsmith, another guy that just fills into this Miami rotation. 18 points off the bench. Then Jimmy Butler with 13 in game one. So what you guys thoughts on game one of the NBA Finals? I'm going to go you first, Cool. What's your thoughts?
I think it was a game that we needed to win. I'll be the first to say Denver needs to win tonight as well. You don't want to go into Miami down at all, right? You don't want that to happen. You don't want it to be a tie. You don't want it to be 1-1. You want to go into Miami looking and saying, okay, cool, we're up 2-0, right? Because you have the first two games at home. So you mess around and don't handle your business, and you're going to be in trouble when you get to Miami. Now, hopefully, momentum, we can go to Miami and do the same things, but you have to understand that the first thing that needs to happen, the first thing we need to do is go out here and win these games. Miami is going to play better, I feel, in this game. I think they felt us out in game one. They have a great coach, right? A lot of people don't give him, I think, the flowers he deserves. But Spoelstra is a great coach. So they're going to make some adjustments. They're going to try to make things difficult for Denver. They're going to definitely use Bam more attacking, because what Denver does, as you mentioned earlier, is we're not going to really attack you defensively by blocking a lot of shots. We have guys that can do that, but we want to alter your shots. We want hands in your face. We want you to have to take a shot that you don't necessarily want to take. If you want to float into 5 feet and throw the ball up, we want to make you take that same shot from 7 feet, contest it over, and have to arc it differently over someone. Just make you do things that are different. I mean, a lot of people talk about in game one the 3-pointers. Denver shot a worse percentage from 3, than Miami. So yeah, I expect Miami to be better from 3, but I also expect Denver to be better from 3. It was Denver's performance from 3 truly was so putrid that Jokic sat down looking at the stats, saw how Michael Porter hit like 1 of 11. He was like, "What? I thought he made like 6 or 7 threes. He only made like 1 or 2." So it was a lot of poor play, I think, both ways, and I expect to see two teams play a lot better in this game today. I think game one was that fill out game. Denver had been out, kind of rusty, so they were a little rusty. Miami was coming off the big emotional win, and those dudes already had booked their stuff to Denver before game 7. That's how confident they were. So I think you're going to see now things settle in tonight. I expect it to be a close game. I hope it's not, but I do expect it to be a close game, and I think that Miami's going to show up and give Denver everything that they have. Denver's going to have to find an answer for everything Miami has if they want to win this game. They may have to go a little deeper into the bench this game, because Miami has been going deeper into their bench. They have confidence in guys. I mean, we got guys like Reggie Brown, Thomas Bryant sitting over there that are guys that can play, right? Thomas Bryant is going to be more physical. You put him in there against some minutes against Bam, let him bang with Bam a little bit. Just do some things a little different. I think for Miami's end, figuring out what worked in game one, continuing that. Also mixing in some different stuff. And of course, game 3, Miami's going to have, from all reports, Tyler Hero returning. So that may help as well. You normally get emotional boost when you have a guy come back from injury. So Denver, you want to go into Miami up 2-0. If you're Miami, obviously you want to go home 1-1 and then try to protect your home court. So tonight, I think, is a pivotal game in the series. I really think every game is pivotal, especially for Denver, who's never been here before. The quicker we can get done, if we can get it done quick, the better off we are.
For sure. Mel, your thoughts?
Man, I just feel like just get them out of there. Like, I felt like, I felt both teams was a fill-up, because I was watching Denver, and I was like, they just trying stuff. They not even pushing hard. You know what I mean? And Jimmy Butler. There's no excuse. 13 points. That's no excuse. But they did win with the free throw attempts. Let me see. I think it was like 16-20. Um, so like and Heat only shot for 2 free throws, so that was that. But come on, 13 points. When you got if you got what 12 more points, man, the game would look different. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? But I felt like that game they were just trying stuff. They are the better team, and they didn't have to go deep. Like really, Denver didn't have to go deep because it was just like I was watching plays, and I'm like, look, it reminded me of the Game 7, the Lakers versus the Heat, where it was a center and it was like 4 guards. And it was just like, they like you said, it wasn't about blocking shots, even though he did block shots. It was more or less just alter their shots and run, or just I seen Gordon. They're dribbling down slow, and Gordon was already down the court posting somebody up. And before majority of the team even passed the 3-point line, all Joker had to do was throw it to Gordon. He did it like 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? And I said Gordon was very, very important because I believe he can give you 25, but he can go ahead and do whatever, all his defense stuff and this and that, and just stay 20, 2015. He good. But yeah, man, I don't think, and then they haven't lost a game at home. You know what I mean? So definitely gonna win tonight. Like it's gonna take Miami extremely hard to be the team that's been number one all season that has not lost at home in Denver. Now you know how hard it is to play in Denver. So, I mean, Jimmy got a ball though. I feel like Jimmy got a ball, and then Martin had 3 points. Like I see everybody else stepped up, but no, you gotta. It really to me, they may win tonight. I don't think so, but I felt the first game they should have really won at Denver, and I don't think they did.
So we'll transition now to game 2. So, cool. I'm gonna go with you first. Cool. What are your keys to a Miami Heat victory and snapping the Denver Nuggets home win streak?
They got to slow the game down. Maui just made a great point. They've got to get back on defense. They have to have one of their bigs or one of their more versatile players. He has a sprint back. They got to match up with Aaron Gordon. You have to watch every passing lane at all times whenever Jokic is on the floor. You got to have active hands. You're going to need to shoot better from 3. You're going to need to be more aggressive in going to the bucket. They settle for way too many threes in this game, one. And if they do that again, they're going to put themselves in a bad situation. They have to get away from the mentality that got them here, which was shooting threes at a record clip almost, especially for their organization. You have to say, okay, that was great. That helped us get here. And I'm not saying go completely away from it, but understand the right situations. If it's a tight ball game, you're coming down, why fire up a 3 when you can take it inside, maybe get a foul, get some of the guys from Denver in foul trouble, get yourself some buckets, get yourself some rest, slow the game down. You don't want to go track meet with Denver. Miami is not built to go track meet with Denver. Also, look at the different matchups you have and what worked well for you in game 1. Go back to those matchups. Make some things in what did not work well for you, make some changes. So those are the type of things I think Miami has to do. Play smarter, slow the game down, be more aggressive on defense, and force Denver to play at your speed and don't allow them to get those easy buckets, get more turnovers, and be more efficient offensively.
Right.
All right, Mal, your thoughts on key to a Heat win tonight?
Man, attack the basket. No offense, like you got to be a little more physical with the Joker, and you don't have to speed the game, but you need to have subtle speed. Like you know what I mean, like keep them unbalanced, I guess you could say. And I'm talking about Joker. They're not a great, even though like you said, they can block shots. But you got to attack the ball. You cannot have 2 free throws and only made 2. Like, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. Like that's what's weird? That's their game, is to get to the free throw line. Like I can't even. I was shocked. And it almost make you say like, okay, either he tired, you know what I mean? Because I just don't understand why Jimmy Butler didn't attack the basket. But I think once that and then cut back on the 3-pointers. I don't really know matchup wise what can work. But I think Hero being there could work. I did see something that was pretty good though. Duncan Robinson would fake a lot at the 3-point line. He would come in. He got a few pretty good assists when he drove in, which was very different. I've never seen him do that well. I mean, they can play off of that, but they definitely got to attack the basket. You got to attack the basket.
And also to get to George's point, where essentially not only if you're the Heat, how to get to the line more than 2 times, and that's another thing too, where you need those opportunities where you can get to the free throw line and can help you, especially in this case. And you think to yourself, man, if I would have drove maybe 2 or 3 possessions, the course of this game could have changed. And I think you look at that perspective from that as well. And like Jimmy Butler, like you said, to the point, I mean, it's not to, it ain't even the elephant in the room. It's just at this point, it's common sense. I mean, Jimmy Butler has to have more than 13 points in order for this team to win. I mean, that's just point blank period. It's like no hot take, no nothing. It's the truth. It's just one of those where, especially in this type of situation where you have these role players that, yes, they're sporadic, but they play their role, but sometimes they may have an off night or what have you like this. Like, like you said, you may have, Caleb Martin. Maybe, Caleb Martin might struggle in a sense, but Gabe Vincent stepped up. Then also Haywood Highsmith, he stepped up.
Right.
So that's another one where he only averaged, 4 points a game in the regular season, but he stepped up in one of the biggest games of the season, in game 1 of the NBA Finals. So let's imagine if you would have had that same type of Jimmy production, then, this game would definitely be different as well. And definitely huge shout out to our guy Jordan. I want to say, what's up, guys, and go Nuggets. So, hey, it is what it is. But, yeah,
that's what's up.
But so obviously, so what are you guys' thoughts on the keys to a Nuggets victory? What you got, Cool? I think you muted, Cool. I can hear you. Yeah, thank you.
My bad, y'all. Attacking from different angles, man. Not attempting to do the same thing that worked in game 1. We're going to shoot threes. They're both going to shoot threes because they just can't help themselves. But, attacking the basket at times, running the back screens, the screening rolls, the 2-man game between Jokic and Murray. And in that, a big point that a lot of people are missing is there's a very good connection between Aaron Gordon and Jokic as well from that time last year when Murray, Porter weren't there, and those were the 2 main guys on the team. So we've seen Gordon put up 20, 25, 30 in games and still go out and play hard on defense. But I think you want to go a little bit deeper if needed, right? If guys start to get tired, get wore down a little bit from the way they're needing to play, go a little bit deeper. I like Jeff Green. He's very versatile as well. He comes in, he bumps, OG. At this point, they call him Uncle on the team. You starting to see that ball somebody got at the top. He's been around for a while, but hey, he's still getting it done. He still makes plays when they're needed. He's still a big part of the team. Be smart as well. Be cerebral. Make the right plays. You know that Jokic can defend, but he's not the best defender at center that we've had in the NBA, right? He's not the best defender at center that we have in the NBA right now. He's not the best defender that we have in this series, but he can still get things done if you play correctly around him. Sometimes they push him up high to help with the threes and the mid-range shot. You got to be able to drop him back some. Don't be scared to use different configurations. Don't be scared to call on some of those guys that may not have played as much, but can help you in this particular series or this particular game. Watch the flow of the game. Be smart. And that's something, like I say, either team is winning, you're going to have to play smart. Not just cerebral, but smart as well. Adapt at halftime. Miami's going to come out. I see it being a ferocious beginning. You're going to have to push them down a little bit. You're going to have to weather the storm, stay in the game, make the right reads, make the right shots, continue to attack the basket and get to the free throw line as well. That's the things I think that they need to do. And don't let Michael Malone get out coached. And that's by you executing his game plan.
Yeah. Now, your thoughts on this on key to a Nuggets win?
just keep doing what you're doing, man. Like keep playing the plays. That's basically it. Like, you know what I'm saying, and just keep. I think they're complete, and I don't think they have complete control of everything. Yes, you have to respect Miami, but I think Denver's straight. Like, you know what I mean? If they make one move, say okay, then we can go this way. I think they're okay. Just put the system first. Don't nobody have to go don't nobody have to go more than one. Just put the system first and trust one another, and they're gonna be okay. I watched they was watching the game afterwards in the locker room, and they were picking the little things that they did, and they're good, man. You know, I think it's until I can see something, they're straight. You know what I mean? They're straight. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep passing the ball. Keep getting assists. Just keep playing team ball.
And I think, obviously, the key to this one, I think, and the shots are going to fall for Denver, I think, in this game. Hey. So I look at that as potentially. And then I look at one thing, too, is they got a lot of, just exploit those mismatches that you're going to have. And then now, breaking news, Kevin Love is going to start in place of Caleb Martin. So now I look at that as a situation where that's going to be intriguing of kind of how Denver will exploit that. And I think even with Kevin Love there, that's going to be a mismatch for whoever's on them. So just take advantage of those. You think about it, 1 through 5 is literally a bunch of mismatches. You just take advantage of those mismatches. And I think that's what the biggest thing is. Like you said, Denver knows. It's one thing, like you said, I wouldn't say it's an off and on switch. I know I hate people when see people say that. But they know. I think they know it's almost like we got them. It's almost like, they was playing slight checkers, and now they're going to play chess tonight, potentially. I look at from that move. So it's definitely going to be, so let's see. And then also George chimed in and said, one thing I want to see is better defense on the 3 for the Nuggets. Heat missed so many threes, but they had so many open looks. And that's one thing, too, and I thought it was going to be kind of somewhat the inverse in a sense, where I definitely thought, it would be on the other end as well. So.
Yeah, I was leaving it for y'all. I didn't want to take all the points. I believe somebody's gonna grab it.
Yeah, so that's one thing too, where as far as getting those open looks, and like I said, eliminating those for sure. But
they good. I'm just trying to tell you. Look, sure. I'm gonna give y'all a key why they good. LeBron said with Anthony Davis said, I think this is probably the best complete team we played since we played for the Lakers. They whispered that to each other because the truth, they better than. I think they getting the confidence to realize how better they really are. I don't think any of us really knew how great they are. I remember a couple of years ago, Candace Parker was yelling at the Joker, talk about how fat he was and how he was always out of shape.
The bubble year.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I remember that, and I'm watching them. What you did was you found a system that worked. I watched him, man. He had a layup, and he pulled back out and set the play up. And I was like, wow.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Championship basketball, dude.
They finally got it together. So, fellas, our final topic of the night. So, predictions in Game 2 of the NBA Finals. So, I'm going to set it up. So, will this be the last time that the Denver Nuggets play at home this year? I'm gonna go with you first. Cool. Your score prediction, and is this the last time we'll see a game in Denver?
No, this is not the last time we're gonna see a game in Denver. But I'm gonna go 120 to 107.
Okay.
Denver.
Okay. All right, Mario. What you got?
Yep.
Okay.
126. The 111. Yep.
I think we'll have a game.
8 points. I'm just playing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Not 8 points.
If he do, yeah. Oh gosh. If he got 8 points.
Ooh, that's a wrap.
Oh, he may not make it to Miami. For real. They gonna crush. Oh my gosh. If he got a game like that, it's gonna be terrible.
I hope he don't, because that's my perception of him. I mean, my bad.
But no, actually, there'll be a game 5 on Monday, and then this is it. I think game 5 is a wrap. I think we will be going back to Denver next week from tomorrow, and the season will be over on next Monday. I got the Nuggets winning 117-110, and they'll preserve their win streak, and on to Miami on Wednesday. So
now I hope you're right, bro.
I got a question. You know who agree with me? Y'all want to know who agree with me?
Who?
Shannon Sharp.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Because he ready to get up out there.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp, like, can we be done in 3 games?
For real. Like, can we be done tonight?
Right.
This just be my last week for sure.
Right.
I feel it.
But yeah. Hopefully Bayless get a week off, so he can kind of do his own little thing and just get out the way,
I know we're about to finish. Quick question. Would y'all want Michael Irvin to be there? Would y'all like that?
I do. And I mean, they'll be inseparable on Cowboys wins, but I do. Because I want Michael Irvin back. I want him back doing what he need to do. Because I know everything that's going on with the pending litigation, but yeah, for sure.
No. You can't. I can't. There's got to be somebody there to oppose this Dallas super homerism that Skip has. There's got to be somebody there. There's got to be somebody that's going to call him out and is going to call it straight down the middle on the other side. And that's not going to be Michael Irvin.
Yeah, it's not going to be Michael Irvin.
But he said he don't want nobody to challenge him. So
that's what Skip's saying?
But guess what?
I mean, that's what the rumors. That's what the rumors are saying.
If you're not going to have anybody challenge you, you might as well stop the show. Because nobody wants to get up there and hear you talk about how much you hate LeBron. Brian Snow does that every day anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody wants to get up there and hear another guy talk about how much they love the Cowboys and how the Cowboys are great and all that too. So if you're not going to have a guy that's going to have opposing opinions for you, there's no point in having the show. Just cancel the show.
All right. So we're going to wrap it up. We got about a minute left, 2 minutes left on this one. So, all right. So first, shout out to this individual. I know, so thanks for that. But, so we'll just go around the horn, social media. So shout out to our guy.
Wow.
Polar Nights. Polar Nights.
Polar Nights. Yeah.
Polar Nights. Yeah. So cool. Where they can find you on social media?
Find me youtube.com/@Eagles Elite Podcast, playcallersportstalk.com/live. You can follow me on Twitter @Cool McCain, Facebook Cool McCain, Instagram @Cool_McCain, TikTok Cool McCain.
For sure. Mal, where can you find you?
Hey man, Deshaun Morgan Facebook, DT Morgan 78. You know what I'm saying? Instagram. Great show, guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Pretty much Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all that social media, pretty much Couch Coach Live. The website, couchcoachlive.com. Also, anywhere you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, we're there. Check out the podcast. And yeah, man. So this wraps up Game 2 preview. So we'll be back here on Wednesday to preview Game 3 and possibly the return of Tyler Hero. So I think that'll be Hero. So we shall see. So we'll see you guys in 3 more days, and we out.
Love doing the show with you guys.
Appreciate it.